proudly present the Coors Light Women's Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. It's a gorgeous afternoon on Lake Michigan, and we're just off Lake Michigan in Grand Haven, Michigan, for the 8th stop on the WPVA Tour. And hi once again, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman, along with Maria Barnes. This is the midway point in the WPVA season, and before we talk about the finals here in Grand Haven, we have to talk about a team that is not here. The second-seeded team, Liz Massakayan and Carolyn Kirby, winners last week out in California at Hermosa Beach. They were a late scratch.
That's right. Liz Massakayan bowed out Thursday night. Severe tendonitis in her knee. She had ACL surgery in December. It's bothering her once again. It could mean that she goes through this off and on throughout the rest of the season. She's
had problems with the knees as the season has gone on. They're not here, but one team that is definitely here and playing well again, the top-seeded team on the beach, Holly McPeak and Nancy Reno. They've been splendid throughout the season. This is the 7th time they've been in a final.
That's right. They've won the 2nd tournament, the 4th tournament, the 6th tournament. This is the 8th tournament. Obviously, the choice to win here. They haven't been able to put together 2 back-to-back victories. However, they are right now the 2 most consistent players on tour.
And for the 4th time in a final this year, they'll be opposed by Angela Rock and Linda Hanley. Now, those 2 were disappointed last weekend in Hermosa Beach. They finished 4th. They arrived here in Grand Haven, and they had a new rallying cry, one I think we can all relate to, and certainly Maria Barnes should relate to this. No whining.
That's right. I guess Angela Rock took off her jacket, and underneath was this giant button that said no whining. Obviously, the message to her partner, just shut up and play. They didn't feel they did that last weekend. They've had a consistent year. They won the 3rd tournament of the year in Puerto Rico, and they're 2-5 against McPeak and Reno right now.
It should be a terrific final. We also have a great 3rd-place match for you. Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet will take on Patty Dodd and Christine Schaefer. All of that when we return to the beach in Grand Haven, Michigan on Prime.
And in Linda's corner. I like that.
That's a shot below the belt.
I want to know what the heck they know about television anyway.
Well, you know what? I don't know a thing about sanitation either. You can ask my wife that. Let's go back to center court. Match point, Christine Schaefer. Joust, Schaefer, elevated, Castro puts it up.
Another tight set.
Oh, a lift on Schaefer, and Schaefer didn't like the call. Folks, that was a terrific rally right on the net. And the side out earned by Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro.
Both teams, I mean, you could see the effect the wind's having, pushing the ball in the net. All of these sets were very tight to the net. She's probably going, why didn't I just hit that ball? Frustrating play for both sides.
Elaine Roquet does not elect to use the jump serve, and she'll hit a floater. And that can be as difficult as any serve to return. There's a side out. Schaefer, kind of an inside out swing off the block of Elaine Roquet.
Back to serve, game point.
Looks like Patty Dodd's going to send for another sky ball. Wind is really blowing right now.
Match point.
Schaefer giving her partner blocking signals, telling her she's going to take the line of both players.
Handled nicely by Castro. Off the block that time by Schaefer. Schaefer had a difficult decision to make because the set was a little bit off the net. And she didn't know whether to pull or to stay up, and she elected to stay up.
Yeah, there's kind of that middle ground as far as how far the set is off the net. It can get a little confusing.
Schaefer with the recovery. Roquet puts it down, tied at 15.
What a tight match. Great save by Schaefer. She realized she wasn't in position to pass that pass from her partner, and she just kept it in play.
15-15 in our third place match. The championship still to come. We're in Grand Haven, Michigan. We'll be back in a moment. The wind's really blowing in Grand Haven, Michigan right now, and the side that it would favor is the side that Patty Dodd and Christine Schaefer are on, because they're playing into the wind. 15-15, Gail Castro at the back line. She'll have to get a lot of topspin on this. You get it up in the wind, it'll sail long. Schaefer on the line. Chris Schaefer with a bunch of kills in this match. Again, if you're just joining us, it was 10-3 at one point. Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro led, and they thought they were going to be on a plane about now. But it's now 15 all. I'll tell you what, Castro and Roquet had to battle back to get to 15. Oh, good up by Dodd. There's Patty Dodd again, behind the block of Schaefer. That's an overset.
Oh, Dodd went
Elaine
in the net.
Roquet got the play.
Referee missed that call. Patty Dodd came down and almost brought the net down with her.
15.
Notice we're having a lot of long rallies. The wind is making it very difficult to control the ball and set right on the net.
And that's a shank pass. A bullet of a serve from Elaine Roquet, and Christine Schaefer could get it to her partner. 16-15 match point.
As is typical when it's really windy, all of the players chalking up aces, 3 for everyone on the court.
With a timeout on the court, time to tell you about this week's Saturday's Heroes. And once again, it's Pat Keller and Rookie of the Year favorite Jenny Griffith, who whipped 4th seed Denny Knoop and Deb Richardson 15-13. They finished the tournament in 9th, another strong finish for this up-and-coming team.
In the beginning, I thought that we were going to place like 13th and 17th, and I would have been pretty pleased with that, but we've been getting 9ths and 7ths pretty consistently, and that's real exciting to me. It makes me look forward to my future here.
I never know what to expect. I seem to pick up rookies every single year, and good things have been happening for Jenny and I really like playing with Jenny. I call it no stress volleyball, no stress on the court, and we just keep trying, keep plugging away.
It was a well-played match by Griffith and Keller, but it should be noted Deb Richardson was suffering from food poisoning, so they weren't really completely on their game, and they went home with a 13th place finish.
Uncharacteristic for them. Let's get back to center court. 16-15. This would be a nice result for Elaine Roquet and Gail Castro.
Oh, what a net!
Roquet gets it over. Dodd down the line, and it was good. Oh man, what a play by Patty Dodd. Really on both sides of the net.
Kind of jogging my memory a little bit. You know, I've forgotten how good Patty Dodd can be when she is on. She's very deceptive, very quick, very athletic. And that's a great play. A little luck with it, but also just a phenomenal play.
You know, for two teams that have played a lot of volleyball in the hot sun this weekend, I don't know where they're getting the energy from, but this is terrific beach volleyball. And the crowd obviously approves. 16-15, Roquet and Castro go up. This is like a tiebreaker in the 5th set of a Grand Slam match.
Hi, Dad.
That's right. Hi, Dad. You know, too often it's always, well, it should be, but it's too often it's always hi, Mom, and nobody ever takes care of Dad, and it's being Father's Day. Should be hi, Dad. Hi, Dad.
What am I going to be saying Happy Father's Day to you?
In a couple of years.
Yeah?
A couple of years. Sure.
Okay.
You saying Happy Father's Day to your husband?
Yes.
See Brad right now probably really enjoying the heck out of his Father's Day, toting around 2 little kids.
That's what Father's Day is all about.
It is. Changing diapers and all that stuff. Can't wait. Patty Dodd at the back line.
You're right.
In front, smart play. Gail Castro saw the defense retreat, and she hit the dink shot in front.
Heads up play.
Earlier we were talking about Christine Schaefer's versatility for a tall athlete at 6 feet. She moves well. Well, Gail Castro also, one of the taller athletes on tour who also moves exceptionally well. Match point again. A stiff hit from Schaefer that gets down.
Schaefer and Dodd showing a lot of tenacity, a lot of strength for a new team.
Think they'll play together next week?
Oh, absolutely. Christine Schaefer's played most of the season with Lisa Arce. Patty Dodd's been playing with Cami Chiarelli, with the exception of last weekend. She played with Carrie Papinga last weekend, and it was not a successful weekend for them, so she switched to Schaefer. And as you can see, working well for him.
And again, match point, Elaine Roquet will take her turn.
Again, the good side is the side Schaefer and Dodd are on. The wind's blowing into their faces. It is a very strong wind. This is a very deep sand here. Tough conditions to play under, but a beautiful place to play.
Good serve.
Go, Gil. Come on, right here. Hit if you want.
Castro for the game. There it is. Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet in a spectacular third-place game, 17-15 over Patty Dodd and Christine Schaefer.
Turning point in this match, I'd say, Drew, was that one play where Schaefer and Dodd had a chance to put the ball down, kind of ping-pong play. They weren't able to make it happen. Castro and Roquet showing a lot of tenacity, a lot of strength, given, like you said, they've played a bunch of matches this weekend. Roquet a bit under the weather, tough conditions. They're able to pull it off.
Second time this year that Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet have come up with a third in their fourth Final Four finish of the year. 17-15. Elaine Roquet, Gail Castro with the third place finish. And coming up, our championship match, Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak will take on Angela Rock and Linda Hanley from Michigan. And we're back on Lake Michigan in Grand Haven. Gorgeous day to be lying out in the sun or sailing or playing beach volleyball. Drew Goodman along with Maria Barnes, and here is the road to our final. First off, for Holly McPeak and Nancy Reno, they have cruised along. An impressive win over Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet, 15-10, and then 15-12 over Dodd and Schaefer. For Linda Hanley and Angela Rock, they too have cruised through the field thus far. They were challenged finally by Arce and Chiarelli, 15-9. They won there. Fontana Harris and Forsyth went down 15-11. And I am joined right now by Linda Hanley and Angela Rock. Now, we were kidding off the top because you showed up here with a button that said no whining. What were you trying to tell your partner?
Well, it's kind of been our theme all week, and I was staying with a couple friends of mine that had this big giant button that kind of reinforced it, that we're just going to shut up and play and quit talking about it and just do it. That's our theme.
That work for you, Linda?
Yeah.
the soft-spoken Linda Hanley. Let's go to Maria Barnes, who has Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak with her. Maria?
All right, Holly McPeak, how important is serving with this win in this tournament?
I think it's a big key. Both teams have been serving well all day, and it's really important that we serve tough in this final.
Nancy Reno, you've had success against this team. What do you think the key's been? You're 5-2 against them.
I think definitely our blocking defense. You know, my block with Holly's very quick play behind me. So, you know, if we can get our block together and, like Holly mentioned, keep our service going. I know that Angela has the bicep, but I have the leverage. So we'll see how it goes.
So it's a matchup, the bicep against the leverage. All right, Drew.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
For official introductions, let's go to our stage, and here's Denny Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to City Beach for the finals of the Grand Haven Open. All right, volleyball fans, it's time to meet the players. First, checking in at 5'9" from Pacific Palisades, California. Let's have a big hand for a 3-time All-American from UCLA, Linda Hanley. Standing 5'9" out of Carlsbad, California. How about another big round of applause for a member of the 1988 Olympic team, Angela Rock. Standing 5'6" out of Manhattan Beach, California. Currently the tour's top-ranked player, Holly McPeak. And finally, from San Diego, California, standing 5'11", a former world pro beach champ, Nancy Reno.
Let's check the weather today. Well, it's gorgeous out, but the wind will be a factor in this match as it was in our third-place match. Not overly hot. There is that breeze which cools things down, and it is later in the afternoon right now, but the wind will play a factor. And Holly McPeak will start things out, but they will serve with the wind, so they are on what we commonly refer to as the bad side. Hanley goes up and slams it down. Linda Hanley, the southpaw, puts it down quickly for the side out. And Angela Rock, with the premier serve on the beach, is at the back line.
You know, Drew, standing down on the court, you don't really feel the wind so much, but once the ball gets elevated, you know, serving, setting, you can really feel the wind. And there's an ace right off the bat for Angela Rock. You've said a couple times this weekend, Drew, that she hits the ball harder than anyone out here, at least a good 10 miles an hour. She really unloads on the ball. She has so much power and strength behind her serve, and great placement there. You can see both players going for the ball. The old Alphonse Gaston play. Do you know what that is?
I do know the Alphonse Gaston play. Where'd you learn that?
I watch a little baseball.
Hanley gets it up. Rock, the pass. Hanley down the middle. 2-0.
Hanley Rock.
And Linda Hanley with the quick start. And
Off to a great start. A lot of energy on that side of the court.
timeout on the court. 2-0. Rock and Hanley strike quickly. And we'll come back to Grand Haven, Michigan right after these messages on Prime. Haven, Michigan, the 8th stop on the year. Along with Maria Barnes, I'm Drew Goodman. You know, partner switches this time of year are a normal occurrence, and we asked Christine Schaefer about this topic.
This is a business, you know. We're here to win money, to win tournaments, and you know, a lot of the partners are switching up right now based on points because, you know, the shootout is coming up, and the top 8 players go, the top 8 teams go to that tournament, and there's guaranteed money, and it's a great tournament to go to. There's a lot of prestige involved in going to that. So players are switching up early right now, making sure that they can qualify for that tournament.
Her partner change, obviously a great decision for her, and showing a lot of versatility given that she did play on the right when she's been playing on the left all season. Very impressive.
Rock with another ace, 3-0. Angela Rock out of the chute, hooking with the serve.
Tough to pass those serves. She's moving the ball around so well. You saw her ace down the middle 2 plays ago, and this time she goes straight down the line, and I have a feeling that's a hard pill for Holly McPeak to swallow. She does not get ace like that very often.
Right there, come on.
That is the equivalent of a two-handed tomahawk slam in the NBA. Nancy Reno up top and inside what would be the 10-foot line in the indoor game.
Most important aspect of this game, other than serving, is going to be setting. Difficult to do in this win. McPeak sets Reno up well there, and Reno just does a great job of hitting around the block and hard.
Through the block, Angela Rock. Linda Hanley and Angela Rock were talking to us earlier, and one area they felt that they needed to be better at this weekend was being aggressive, assert themselves, especially with Nancy Reno putting up the big block at the net.
I'd say so far so good.
Yeah.
Nobody flag!
Down it goes. 4-0.
Hanley and Rock on fire, playing flawless ball at this point. Nice play by Rock.
In front of the defense, Nancy Reno puts it down for the side out.
McPeak to serve.
Again, right now, Hanley Rock are on the good side. The wind is gusting into their faces. And there you saw an effect of the wind right there. An overpass by Angela Rock.
Hanley coming out on top.
But the joust works out okay for Rock and Hanley. Not too often that Nancy Reno will lose a joust. 4-0, and Rock will crank it up again. That'll work as a point. 5-0. They shut them out on that side. Angela Rock and Linda Hanley off early. 5 chips in the final from Grand Haven. And welcome back to Grand Haven, Michigan, as we take a good look at the hills surrounding this beautiful town with Maria Barnes. I'm Drew Goodman. Time now for our Bally Total Fitness Personal Fitness profile of Barbara Fontana Harris. She's one of the shorter players on the tour, but also one of the quickest. She also has a reputation as a gym rat.
I discovered that weight training was key to volleyball for me during my first year playing, which was 4 years ago, about midway through the season. I was just coming out of law school, and I was trying my best, but I was a lot weaker than the other players. And really the difference for me in the last 3 years has been getting into the weight room and increasing my strength. My workout routine in the gym and in the sand is really one of balance. I try to balance out my body. When I'm playing volleyball, you hit certain muscles and you tend to overemphasize the right side of your body. So when I get into the gym, when I come into Bally to do a fitness workout, I try to work a lot on the left side of my body and to hit the muscles that I don't hit when I'm playing volleyball. When I come into the gym, my key goal is strength. I'm trying to increase my strength so I'm powerful on the beach, which in turn will make me jump higher and be quicker on the court. Right now with my leg exercises, I'm working on squats, making sure that I keep the weights hitting my hamstrings, the back of my legs. And then I'm also doing a lot of cleans where I'm jerking up weight and incorporating a jump into that to get my fast twitch, twitching faster, and my increase in my jump. My back exercises help balance out my upper body because when you're playing volleyball, a lot of on-court strength is through your chest and your shoulders. Everything's moving forward. So when I come into the gym, I like to emphasize my back. I do the basic lat pull downs. Those are nice for the back of the lats. That keeps that real strong. And then I do a series of smaller exercises that emphasize the inside muscles in my back with smaller weights and isolated exercises. I'd have to say that the advent of the Olympics in 1996 has definitely changed my perspective with beach volleyball. It's added another level, another goal to add to the list. It's very exciting, and it tends to make us have to all think a little bit more long-term because now we have a 1996 goal, and in order to get there, you're going to have to take certain steps, and you just can't go out weekend and weekend and just play, you know, for the national tour. You have to think about international and where your ranking is internationally and keep your U.S. ranking pretty high.
Barbara Fontana has always prided herself in being one of the most fit women on tour. Incredible abdominal muscles. Works very hard.
Two-time Defensive Player of the Year. She's going to get a stiff test from Holly McPeak this year. 5-0, and the serve handled. Holly McPeak goes up. Great up that time by Rock. Oh, right on the net. Holly McPeak, your basic 30-foot set.
In the line. Right on the net.
And blind to the net.
Yeah. Wow, what a play. Just look at this. I mean, she's all the way on the end line.
That's amazing.
She dives over her head, blind set, right on the net.
Good reason why they've won 3 events already this year. Last week they lost in the final at Hermosa, 15-10 to Masakayan and Kirby, who are not here. Late injury scratch. Liz Masakayan, tendonitis in her knee.
And overline, overline.
Hanley whips that through both Reno and McPeak for the side out.
Very important for Reno McPeak to get all 5 points while they're on the good side. Even this up. Can't afford to give away points when you're on the good side. Got to at least get 4 out of 5.
McPeak
Great
plays down the middle.
Really good placement by McPeak. The set blew off the net a little bit. She's hammered the ball straight through the middle.
That's wide. And again, Angela Rock will take the volleyball. Leading the tour in aces this year, approaching 100 on the season. And she's well out in front of everybody in that category. Carolyn Kirby is next with 68. Gail Castro had 68 coming in. There's another ace. Angela Rock makes it 6-0.
Timely choice for you, Drew, to talk about aces. And Rock goes back and rips one. She's really doing a good job of serving the ball hard through the middle. It's the one place, other than a tough down the line serve at Reno, that you can get this team in a bit of trouble.
Reno puts it down, and that is where the wind helps. Nancy Reno knew that she could really hit full out because the wind would help knock down the shot. And Reno wants
back to serve it
a
up.
different volleyball, and she'll get a different volleyball.
Tough conditions to play in. This is deep sand. It's very fine sand. Very trudgy sort of playing surface, and then you've also got the wind to contend with.
Right there, partner. Cross. Go.
Hanley right on the net, dug by McPeak. Hanley gets it up, has to go over.
Right there, overline.
Low set for Reno, and she earns the point. So McPeak and Reno get on the board. And it was made happen by Holly McPeak.
You know, Drew, you look at Holly, and she is very impressive on defense, very quick, does a good job of reading the ball, but she is helped out so much by her partner, Nancy Reno, who, when blocking, takes away a lot of the court. She's a great blocker. She can take away a good portion of the court to not allow the hitter to hit there, and therefore enabling her partner to have a smaller range in which she needs to dig in. And that is what makes that team so effective.
No one line, you!
Hanley just does get it inside the back line, side out. And Linda Hanley goes to the back line.
It's a gutsy deep hit with the wind at your back like that.
Terrific tennis player. We've talked about that. And she played at UCLA in addition to beach volleyball. Now she plays more paddle tennis than anything. That's an ace, 7-1. Linda Hanley. You talk about placement. That just got over the net and died.
You'll notice she's a lefty. She's the only lefty on the court right now. She's got a funny story. You know, you were talking about the fact that she played tennis. Well, she's a lefty in volleyball and, you know, played tennis in high school. And the UCLA tennis coach heard that she could also play tennis and asked her to come out to play. He didn't know that she played tennis right-handed.
He was looking for a lefty.
Disappointed.
Yeah, he was recruiting a lefty and ends up getting a righty. Ambidextrous. 7-1 the score. We step aside for a moment. Back in Grand Haven in a moment. back in Grand Haven. Great day to be at the beach. Great day to be out on the water in Lake Michigan. Eastern coast of Lake Michigan. And Grand Haven about 2.5-hour drive from Chicago.
They go to replay in the track.
7-1, Linda Hanley and Angela Rock leading the top-seeded team in the world right now. Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak.
Somebody!
Power, 8-1, knocking the ball down, and Reno at the same time.
What was it Reno said before the match? The bicep versus the whatever. There's an example of it right there. Angela Rock goes up, uses her brute force, power the ball back over the net. Tremendous upper body strength. Wow, that play deserved a hug.
Yeah, all that weight training, you started to mention it, all that weight training paid off on that particular point. 8-1 the score right now. And we've been talking about partner switches and how they become more prevalent as the season wears on. We talked to Janice Hare about this, and she felt that one of the factors is where her home is.
Yeah, I started the season with Carrie Popinga. We were both based in Hawaii, and we love it there, and it was great to train together. And we decided to stick together for 5 tournaments, see how it went, and we made some gains. And I had an opportunity to play with Cami Torelli, took it, and it didn't pan out. So now I'm back groveling in the partner hunt and open to playing with Carrie again. But right now it's more me trying to find my game and what my motivation is. It's been tough out here. I've got a wonderful family and a beautiful daughter, and I'd almost rather be playing in the sand with her than groveling on the court.
I can relate to that. Though, you know, I'd much rather be here groveling with you than home playing with my kids.
Being an expert at groveling, I can certainly understand that. 8-1 the score. Angela Rock, Linda Hanley cruising right now. They said we have to stop talking the talk and start walking the walk, and thus far they've been able to do it.
There you can see Nancy Reno's hand is taped up. She kind of pulled the ligament off the bone in her finger. It's really swollen. At least that's what she thinks she's done to it. She's not quite sure. She's got it all taped up. Affecting, she says she's kind of afraid to use the overhand dig, but not afraid to pull the paws out and set. And we haven't seen any in this match so far. Wow, great
Reno
shot.
On two. What a dig by Hanley. Reno, that time, pounds it down the middle. Nancy Reno, more than any other player on the beach, will shoot the ball on 2. And one of the reasons she's able to do that is Holly McPeak, so often her passes are like sets.
That's right, she doesn't. She gives her partner that option. She passes her right on the net, and it enables Reno to either hit or set the ball.
Poor communication, ace serve. Holly McPeak, just the second point for McPeak and Reno. And we'll get a side change, 8-2. Rock and Hanley up by 6. The final from Grand Haven, Michigan. Wind continues to blow on a gorgeous day in Grand Haven, Michigan. Drew Goodman, Maria Barnes, 8-2. We get a side change. Holly McPeak, after that ace, is at the back line. They need to get something rolling here. Hanley, cut shot, a beauty. Angela Rock elected to use the handset there. Maria, we don't see that as much when the wind is really gusting as it is today.
Takes a lot of confidence, a lot of ball control to pull the paws out in this wind. Key to this match so far, Drew, has been 5 aces by Angela Rock. 5 of their 8 points scored on her aces. Hanley has 1, so 6 of their 8 points on aces.
McPeak with a cut shot of her own in front of the defense for the side out. Did I hear you a moment ago say it takes a lot of confidence to pull the paws out?
Yeah, paws out. Use your hand setting.
Pause. Oh,
yeah.
I got you.
Pause.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Okay.
2 serving 8, Nancy Reno.
Holly giving her partners blocking signals, telling her to take the line on both players. She's going to dig the angle. See if that works here. Nope, not with a shot like that.
Just enough to get it over. Nancy Reno stands 5'11" and has good leaping ability.
Yeah, Linda Hanley, people look at her and are surprised by how successful she is. I mean, she's not a big, bulky, overly strong-looking woman. She's very tall and slender. People are always amazed by her abilities.
She's fiery.
Yeah, she really is. So much of her strength is in her attitude and her competitiveness.
And I think one of the great reasons that she makes for a good partner is that she can bring levity to any situation. I mean, it could be 14-14 and she'll crack a joke.
Right.
That sails long. Again, Holly McPeak and Nancy Reno are on the side where they're serving with the wind, and you have to put a lot of topspin on a jump serve to get it down. 8-2, and Angela Rock can crank away into the wind here. Our Silver Bullet spectacular serve this week, Nancy Reno with a blistering jump serve. Reno can also bring out the float serve on occasion for good effect.
As far as my jump serve is concerned, I think I always try to concentrate on not using only my shoulder. I really try to think when I'm contacting the ball to use my midsection in sort of a twisting motion and also bring in my abs a lot. Use my whole body in the serve to try to get as much behind it because I'm not big and buff like Angela Rock, so I need to use all my muscles. And that way I get more velocity on the ball and I save my shoulder after billions of swings in a career. I think it's paying off.
Reno has 48 aces this season. She had one of the most challenging parts of her game, is continuing to serve a jump serve and then run to the net and block. So it's a constant challenge to be in shape.
And as we look at the season ace leaders, Rock now over 100, Kirby and Castro trailing, and then Richardson and McPeak not far behind them. 8-2 the score, Nancy Reno set to go. Took a look and off the block of Nancy Reno, and Reno screamed for Holly McPeak to get there. That's one of those situations where Nancy has to be accustomed to Holly McPeak elevating everything behind her.
That's true. A lot of that is due to her great blocking, however.
Tough serve, right back at you. Angela Rock said, hey, it's sitting up there, I'll swing at it. 9-2 now.
Remember, Hanley and Rock are on the good side now. Very important for McPeak and Reno to get a point while they're on the bad side. You can see here Nancy tries to kick the ball. That is legal in beach volleyball. You can play the ball up off your foot if you so choose.
I'd be using my foot, my elbow, my hip. I'd be using everything. Reno, smart play. Hanley got wrong-footed. And it's a side out. 2 serving 9. I have not seen Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak handled like this, even though the match is far from over, handled like this this year. They came in with a match record of 43-6. That's long. Point for McPeak and Reno.
You can see Hanley and Rock calling for a touch.
And now they get it.
Yes.
So it's not a point, it's a side out. And no argument from Holly McPeak or Nancy Reno.
Yes, wide out of
Rock
bounds.
just wide.
Chance for Holly McPeak to serve.
You'll notice Nancy Reno's wearing a back brace. She threw her back out a few weeks ago in the weight room, kind of strained some ligaments, and that is kind of holding it all together. Very sore the Monday after the last couple tournaments. You can see she's got peace signs down the back of it. She told me before the match. That's for Terry Liskevich. Terry Liskevich, the coach of the national team, kicked her off for being such a free spirit. I'll tell you some more about that in a minute.
That's down in the sand. Holly McPeak, Nancy Reno. 3 serving 9.
2 on the 3.
Showing a lot of tenacity on that play. So anyway, Reno was kicked off the national team because Leskevich didn't like the peace sign on her water bottle or the anklet or the fact that she took her guitar on the road with her. Didn't like her free-spirited ways, kicked her off the national team after 1 year.
Sounds like very well thought out reason.
I'm sure there was more, but that's her side of the story.
Angela Rock taking a big swing.
I'm sure he regrets that decision now, though. She's a tremendous player.
I would think so. Angela Rock tools the block, side out, Linda Handley. Over $100,000 in career earnings. Every player right now you see on the sand well over that 100K mark. Reno through the defense that time of Angela Rock. Angela retreating and just a little too much giddy up from Nancy Reno. Long got up there in the wind. Holly McPeak frustrated. Second time she sailed one long on this side.
It's her third service error of the tournament. She's usually a little more consistent than that. Obviously the wind impacting her serve.
You! Go, go!
Could have been out, huh, Drew?
Very close.
Come on, right, go!
That's down in the sand. 10-3. They're within 5 of the title here in Grand Haven. They've won 1 title this year. It came in San Juan, Puerto Rico. They've been in 3 other finals, but each time they've lost.
Holly stays on the ground after this play. Doing a lot of scrambling in the sand. Obviously exhausted by the lack of mistakes on the side of Hanley and Rock. Really playing well. Great serve!
Way up high and drops in. And there's a perfect illustration of what the wind will do to the serve here in Grand Haven. And the spike at the other end by Rock, it's 11-3.
Such a tough serve to pass. You can see how high it is over Reno's head, and yet still drops into the court. Like you said, Drew, that's what the wind can do for you. And right now, Hanley and Rock still on the good side, have a chance for 1 more point while they're over there.
And if you could read lips, Linda Handley just told her partner, it ain't over yet. Keep your focus. 11-3. Handley and Rock in control. Father's Day everywhere, especially here in Grand Haven, Michigan. Oh, we've been talking about partner switches, and we asked Cami Chiarelli about finding the right fit. She said it's very difficult.
I don't know what it is. I think sometimes chemistry has to do a lot with it, because Patty's a great player, you know, and I consider myself a top player. You know, so 2 great players together should do, you know, fairly well. But, you know, sometimes chemistry, like I say, has a lot to do with just pushing you through those hard times in a game, and that's kind of what was kind of fizzling a little bit, I think. We were going, we got a few 7ths, and then we got a 9th, and that was just kind of it. I think for both of us, we just decided, you know what, we need to, for chemistry, we need to move on.
You know, I was really surprised Chiarelli and Dodd were not more successful. They're a great team on paper, and both of them have kind of flip-flop partners this past weekend. Chiarelli played with RC, and as you know, you saw in the 3rd place match, Dodd and Schaefer making a good team. I think it was a smart move for both teams. RC and Chiarelli got a 5th this weekend.
Reno
off the net and out of bounds. It's another point for Rock and Hanley. No touch on that block there.
You know what? That was difficult to see. You're absolutely right. It's 12-3. We'll have a side change. It looked like Reno hit it off of Linda Handley, but she hit it so hard it was difficult to tell.
You could hear it hit off the net. You could hear the sound of the net kind of make a twang sound. And the ball out of bounds with no touch from Hanley. Remember, however, McPeak and Reno are switching to the good side now. The score, 3-12. Match is not over yet.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened. Nancy Reno probably just a little bit short.
So you can see there, that shot, that's a great camera angle on that shot. You can clearly see no touch there. Ball hit off the net. One of the frustrations McPeak and Reno have had bad with their game this year is that their side-out game has not been consistent enough. I definitely say that they would feel that way about this match so far. They just seem a little out of sorts. And Hanley and Ruck have been ruthless. Very few mistakes.
Very few mistakes. Their serve has been outstanding. They got off to the 5-0 start, and then they outscored them on the poor side 3-2. Angela Rock has been on her game. Linda Hanley has made a couple of great digs. And McPeak and Reno have had little opportunity to get in it. They trail 12-3.
7 of Hanley and Rock's 12 points have been scored on aces. We talked about in the Open how much of a serving match this would be, and it certainly has been.
Right there, over line. Come on.
Reno cuts it away from Hanley for the side out, and then throws her hands up in the air as if to say it's about time.
You're looking at 12.
They have the ability to come back. They are that talented, and they have the ability to control points and put the ball down and get back in a match in a hurry.
And they're on the good side. They get 5 points over here. The score is 12-8. It's a close match again.
What a dig that time. Holly McPeak. And down. Vintage Holly McPeak.
And I'll tell you, Nancy Reno did a good job of popping that setup for her partner, too. Really great moving on both sides. You can see Hanley's down there arguing on the court right now, calling for... she's calling for a touch. I don't really... Oh, Hanley's saying the ball was outside the antenna. And that is the correct call. Referee retracting her call. The down referee said the ball was outside the antenna.
That's the call, outside the antenna. Let's go.
They're saying it was on the outside of the antenna. You can't do that.
Drew.
And the crowd didn't like the call because they really appreciated the effort by Holly McPeak. Let's see if we can tell
Baby needs new shoes out.
which way the volleyball went. The antenna, right third of your screen. And I don't know.
Tough to tell. We've got glare on our monitors. Given that we are outside, very difficult to see that. You at home may be able to tell.
That's a tough break.
It is.
Reno throws it down again. Let's see if that play gives some momentum to McPeak and Reno.
Had that play not gone in their favor, it could have been a huge momentum swing.
That's wide. Holly McPeak having trouble harnessing her serve.
That'll kill your momentum really quickly. That's her 4th service error in the match.
And you have to dig in and get ready to move a little bit quicker whenever Angela Rock has the volleyball. That's a great job just getting it over. Hanley to score. Oh! Reno almost had to run into the crowd. It's a point, 13-3.
Angela's Rock serve has been incredible. She is putting so much pressure on them. They're lucky just to pass those serves at all, to keep them in play.
I mean, they were both in the sand after passing the volleyball and finally getting it over.
Right, look at this again. Ah!
All...
Hanley hit the snot out of that ball.
Yeah, she really did, but it all was possible because of the big serve of Angela Rock. When she's like this, when she's huge with her serve like this, you don't have a lot of chance on the other side of the net.
No. This is the most effective I've ever seen her with her serve, by far.
She is dominant right now, and Rock and Hanley lead by 10 in our championship from Grand Haven. To 3 our score in the finals from Grand Haven. Nancy Reno not pleased. You know what end of the score she's on. With Maria Barnes, I'm Drew Goodman. Angela Rock still with the volleyball. Linda Hanley making like Reno. 14-3. Hanley stuff blocking.
What a block by Linda Hanley. She just gets up, over, closes it off. Unbelievable. Completely catching them off guard by surprise.
They have not made a mistake. Championship point, 14-3. This has been a blitz. Rock and Hanley upset with their performance in Hermosa Beach last week. Came in here, refocused, rededicated.
I'd say they need to get upset more often.
Yeah.
I'd say that
they haven't had a reason to whine.
Button that says stop whining be a good luck charm for them from now on.
Trying to capture their second tournament of the year. That's long. They'll have to wait a moment.
Nancy Reno celebrating that missed serve.
I've not seen Reno and McPeak frustrated like this all year long. They've been the ones that have handled everybody. That's off the net. Chance to score. McPeak puts it down the middle. That's a point, 14-4. Solid ball handling by Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak.
As you mentioned, Drew, they are one of the most consistent. They are right now the most consistent team on tour. Unorthodox play for them to be down 14-4 to anyone.
Hanley chases, Rock, short, that's a point, 14-5.
We mentioned in the open of the show, if you missed it, Kirby and Masakayan were not here this weekend after winning last weekend. Liz Masakayan, severe tendonitis in her knee. Had to bow out at the last minute.
The tour right now is so much fun. We've had 4 different teams capture a title in 8 events this year. The 2 teams you're watching have been in quite a few finals. McPeak and Reno with 3 titles this year. Rock and Hanley looking for number 2. Masakayan and Kirby have 2. Fontana and Forsyth also with a title this year. The opening event of the year, Deerfield Beach in Florida. It's been a blast to come out, and this has been a great venue here in Grand Haven. It's true beach conditions, deep sand, the wind blowing. You'd think you were in Southern California if you didn't.
You never know you were on a lake.
No. Rock takes a look, and Reno just mistimed that. She jumped a little bit early. Is that one she should have pulled off the net?
No, not necessarily. And I'll tell you, Rock hung in the air. She made that a difficult ball to block also.
Another championship point. Hanley. Down the line. Safely in for Holly McPeak.
Smart play by McPeak. Saw Rock retreating off the net. Went deep down her line.
Puts the roof on things. It's 14-6. And a mini 3-0 run for Reno and McPeak.
Quickest way for Reno and McPeak to get back in this match is some tough blocking by Reno. There you can see she just takes away Rock's angle completely. A couple stuff blocks and a couple aces, and they'll be right back in it. Unfortunately for them, however, Hanley and Rock have just switched to the good side.
And they can't make any more mistakes, trailing 14-6. Come on back with us for the final from Grand Haven. It's gorgeous here in the Midwest on Lake Michigan, and it is gorgeous in Maine. We'll be in Old Orchard Beach, just a few minutes outside of Portland, Maine, for our next stop on Prime, July 11th. Check your local listings for the time in your area. I'm looking forward to that event. I believe the first time the tour has made a stop in Maine.
Yes.
That is beautiful country. And I'm going to buy you a lobster.
You are?
Yes.
Wow. You buy me dinner 2 weekends in a row?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
There'll be a payback at some point, sure. 14-6. Holly McPeak. great set. Everything that Angela Rock does in volleyball is done quickly. Her serve is hit hard, and when she strikes the volleyball, it's got a lot of RPM on it.
Hanley and Rock combined as a team have one hitting error, and it's Rock's. Pretty impressive.
6 aces in the match for Rock. Championship point. Here it is. The 7th ace and the title in Grand Haven. Angela Rock, Linda Hanley make relatively quick work of the top-seeded team on the beach, Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak. 15-6 your final. That is as good as we have seen Rock and Hanley all season. Well, they didn't mince words, and they came out and got it done behind 7 aces from Angela Rock and fine defensive play from Linda Hanley. They confounded McPeak and Reno, and let's take a final look at championship point. It was similar to many of the points in this match. Angela Rock, a jump serve, and unable to play it at the other end. Nancy Reno, that is just too good. 15-6, the final. Watch how quickly this comes down, and with the wind knocking that down, virtually no chance to pass that serve. 15-6, the final. Maria Barnes is courtside. Maria?
Drew, I don't think a team of 6 could have passed that serve. We talked about the fact that this would be a serving final. It was, in fact, that. Thanks to you, Angela Rock. You were walking on air. What was the deal?
I don't know. I love this environment here. The win. We got the side in almost every match. And plus, my partner was firing me up. She said, "Oh, I'm going to win the service ace competition this week." So I had to rise to the occasion and, you know, put her. No, I'm just kidding. She served great also.
That's fine with me.
Served well.
You did serve well, but how about that block, Hanley?
That felt very nice, very nice. Actually, I've been working on my blocking a little bit this last week and trying to get my feet under the block. So that was a good feeling, and that got us to the crucial 14. Took us a little while to get the 15th point, but again, Angela's serving was a key to our victory, actually all tournament long. And it's so nice to be up there blocking when they're having trouble passing a serve.
Congratulations to both of you. A very well played match.
Thank you.
Okay, Drew.
All right, Maria, thanks very much. And I bet it felt good for Linda Hanley, that block. In fact, that is our Killer Loop Killer play of the day. 13-3 the score. Holly McPeak goes up the big swing, but Linda Hanley timed it perfectly and makes like Nancy Reno, puts it down in the sand. 14-3 at that point. Reno and McPeak made a mini run, but it was not enough. 15-6 the final. Hanley and Rock prevail, and yes, Angela Rock did play a part in that final. She is our Sports Cream player of the match. Angela Rock, not 1, not 2, not 3. I don't know if we have enough videotape. She had 7 aces in the final. Angela Rock, the Sports Cream player of the match. Again, 15-6 the final. Second championship of the year for Angela Rock and Linda Hanley. We'll come back to Grand Haven and wrap things up right after this timeout on Prime. Once again, our final score, Angela Rock and Linda Hanley capture their second title of the year, 15-6 over Holly McPeak and Nancy Reno. And that was about as solid an effort as we have seen this year. And on a day where you needed to serve well, Angela Rock brought the A serve.
Yeah, she really did. I mean, she did not give McPeak and Reno a chance to even come back at all. I mean, she kept the pressure on throughout the entire match. So it's something that she and Hanley have not really been able to do this year. They talked about how they wanted to come in and play with authority and hit the ball well, and that's exactly what they did, both hitting it, serving, and hitting at the net.
It was a splendid performance. Let's run down the other top finishers here in Grand Haven. In 7th position, Jackie Campbell and Charlotte Roach. They were the 9th seed. Krista Blomqvist and Gail Stammer had a good tournament together. In 5th, Fontana Harris and Lori Forsyth, Lisa Arce and Cami Chirelli. In 4th, great result for a new team, Patty Dodd and Christine Schaefer, Gail Castro and Elaine Roquet in familiar territory in the top 4. They were in 3rd. McPeak and Reno in 2nd, and our champions again this day, Angela Rock and Linda Hanley, picking up their second title of the year. Gorgeous day, gorgeous place. Grand Haven should be a sight each and every year. And see this behind us? I know it looks like the Pacific Ocean behind your home. It's not. It's just a very big lake, Lake Michigan.
Beautiful. I love it here.
Gorgeous, and we are all out of time. So for my partner Maria Barnes and our entire crew from Prime here in Grand Haven, I'm Drew Goodman saying so long. We'll see you in Maine. Lobster time coming up next.